Okay, this is a lesson from Friday and today combined into one. This first one is going to be factoring special products. First one is going to be difference of squares, and this is going to be this kind of the backwards way of one of the special products we found when multiplying. So again, if I start with two perfect squares with a subtraction sign in between, the way I can figure this out is I can take the square root of both the terms and then add them and subtract them together. Just like I had right here, I had 4x squared minus 1. The square root of 4x squared is 2x, square root of 1 is 1, and then I added them together and I subtracted them together. So here for this first one, I have 4x squared minus 25. Again, two perfect squares that it has a subtraction sign in between them. So I take the square root of 4x squared, which is 2x, square root of 25, which is 5. And so then I'm going to add those twos together and then subtract them together. Then I can do separate this into two problems. X is equal to negative 5 halves or positive 5 halves. With this second one, same thing. Don't change the order because I want a subtraction sign in between them. So square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 49x squared is 7x. So then I'm going to add those and subtract them together. Then go ahead and solve each one. I get negative 5/7 over here and positive 5/7 over here. Easy enough. The hardest part is seeing it when you're doing these problems. So I'm going to find the greatest common factor and then divide all my terms by the greatest common factor. So again, with these first ones, first thing I look over here is between each of these terms, what's the greatest common factor of 4, 20, and 24, which is 4. And then the greatest common factor of all of my variables is the one with the smallest exponent, which is x squared. So I have 4x squared there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide each of these terms up here by my term on the outside, my greatest common factor. So 4x to the fourth divided by 4x squared, 4 divided by 4 gives me 1, x to the fourth divided by x squared gives me x to the second power. Again, when I have exponents, I subtract my exponents when I'm dividing. So I go plus 5x, and then plus 6 equals 0. So I keep this on the outside. Then in here, I have a trinomial that I can factor. They both have the same signs. So 3 and 2 are two numbers that multiply to give me 6 and add to give me 5. Now I want to solve each one of these by setting them all equal to 0. And so I get 0, negative 3, and negative 2. Those are my three solutions. For the second one over here, 4 is my greatest common factor, x is my greatest common factor of my variables, so I'm left with x squared minus 36 equals 0. Again, divide my coefficients, then divide my variables, so I get 4x. This is a difference of squares. So I go x plus 6, x minus 6. So you get, again, solve each one individually. So you get 0, negative 6, positive 6. And this is what we did today. So again, I want to group the first terms together and then the last two terms together, which is what I did here and here. And I always want a plus sign in between. That's why I have a plus negative 3 here. I just changed that to plus and negative, so I had a plus sign in between my signs. I factor out the greatest common factor for each group. So for the first one, it was x squared, and for the second one, it was negative 3. and what's left in here has to be the same. So x plus 2, they're the same. Pair together the greatest common factor and the binomial that's the same. So my greatest common factors are x squared and negative 3. I pair those together, and the binomial that's the same is x plus 2. So those are my two binomials that I have there. And then last thing is I have to solve for x. So here I get x squared minus 3 is equal to 0. Other one is x plus 2 is equal to 0. Add 3. So x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 3. And here I have x is equal to negative 2. These are my three different solutions. So again, when I'm doing this first one, first thing I'm going to do is plus a negative in the middle. Make sure I have an addition sign in between my parentheses. Then I have x to the third minus 2x squared plus negative 9x plus 18. That all equals 0. Find the greatest common factor. First one is x squared. So I have x minus 2 left, and then plus, and this is kind of the tricky part, the greatest common factor of 9 and 18 is 9, but I have to figure out whether it's a positive 9 or a negative 9. This one's going to be a negative 9, and what you're going to do is end up trying both to see which one ends up working. When I do it like this, negative 9 divided by negative 9 gives me positive x, which is the positive x I had over there. 18 divided by negative 9 gives me negative 2, which is the same negative 2 I had on the other side. Once I'm here, I pair together my greatest common factors, and then the binomials, that's the same. So I get x squared minus 9 times x minus 2. I have a difference of squares here, so it's x plus 3, x minus 3. And I get x minus 2 here. So then again, I solve each one of these, and I get x is equal to negative 3, positive 3, and positive 2. There's the homework from Monday night, and just in case you didn't get it, I'll go back and get the homework from... Oops, here we go. And there's the homework from... Actually, that's all the homework you need to do. The yellow's from Friday, the green's from Monday.